What could go wrong? It's just a little terrifying. Don't just get over it. Everything's fine. Got stuck again. You get stuck so much. Okay. Nothing in here. They're working on flags in here? They're definitely mass producing something. Yeah, it's a flag, basically. It's art. Didn't see anything to do here. Look at the little guys go. Oh. Oh, that's the way forward for sure. Okay, so let's check out the mural thing. That's definitely optional then. Probably. Let's never say definitely. Like I know what I'm talking about ever. Buddy, your glasses are still on. I don't think you need them in here. The way you get stuck is so strange. What was that little thing? I guess it's the iguana-y thing from before, but this one's just albino? Yeah. Might be all that's here. It's a mural of someone blowing a conch to cause a storm, I think. Summoning rain. Oh, look, we can see him. Look at the guy. Look at him. Oh, camera angle's getting weird. No. There, let it extend again. Look at the little guy. Goofy little tadpole lizard frog with a turkey mullet. It's just a fleshy little guy. Okay. Alright, now we'll head back up the way we were going. This old tile. Oh, this was a little bath. That's the implication of the tile and the, this wall spout. So much of this society was built around the availability of water once upon a time, and it's just gone. Do not grow used to water. You'll resent its absence. That movie's like a decade old now, huh? I think I saw it twice that year, and that was it, basically. Seems like it is the way out. Yep. I think those are ladder rungs that may have worked once and do not anymore. Who's whistling? Oh, it's the little guy. I wonder what took the tiles away, though. There's like more tiles missing than present. Maybe they were just cosmetic and laid there by hand and not even like fused in. Unsure I am of many things. Can I climb on these? I'm a little worried. Aww. They're taking me to my destination. I'll go to this one now. This one's going too slow. The one you're on goes slower. Oh, that was neat. Terrifying a little bit. Man, they have to really hold a lot of weight to make that work. Let's relax for a second. And let go. What could go wrong? Ta-da! Are you a way back down now? Yeah, more of a shortcut. Whoa. Those vines extendo. Logbook, 12 octaves and 1/5 after the Jusant. There are so many people climbing down from the heights. I feel like a fish swimming upstream, like in the stories. Before the Jusant, we rose and fell with the tides. I remember hearing the old schooners describe enormous waves, one that drove people upward with each high tide. Never seen the ocean themselves. They were just repeating what they'd heard from their elders when they themselves were young. But there must have been a grain of truth in those stories, right? The ocean nourishes the cliffs, and in the return, the cliffs nourish the entire tower. Anyway, the inhabitants of low tide set enough store in them to set off in search of the ocean. I wavered too. Did we try to hook the lost water? In a way, yes, but not by going with the flow. I have the answer now, thanks to Arlo and Becca. We need to go back to the source. We shared our shady spot with a man named Zoe. He was on his way down to the plane and tried to convince us to go down with him. Why stay? He didn't understand why we wouldn't go. You won't get nothing out of these fields no more. The earth ain't worth a blessing thing. He grabbed a fistful of dust and held it up as proof. Zoe continued on his way while we prolonged our break, dreading having to go back out into the blazing sun. I refused to believe him. Ever since we set off, I feel like I'm rediscovering the tower. Like I've never truly looked at it or listened to it before. My perspective's changing the higher we go. I'm sure we're on the right track. Bianca. Overdue to take a drink. There's people who are placing doubt on the entire journey, saying go down to the plane and then probably just go out. You go down there, you reach the plane, and you go out there into the world and you find a different place to live entirely. There's other people that are hoping that if they go up there, they'll find something. These are old farming tools, I think? It's a little plow. Little guys running around. Such a cool little world. To the person who left a caramel bun in the canteen, I ate it. Sorry. Not sorry. There's no one around here anymore anyway. Cass. Dada. What's new? Any work for us? Orders are drying up, and business at the rope works is far too slow for my liking. I'm starting to get bored. I've brushed up on all my knots, and I've done the accounting I've been putting off for cycles. and Ulf dusted all the machines. Now we're stuck twiddling our thumbs. We're not very good at doing nothing. Glad to know there's still someone left at the tower. Sada went with the flow, just like everyone else. I don't really see what they're expecting to find in the desert. It's not like the sun's going to budge any more there than it does here. No need for new ropes. But you're welcome to come by whenever you like. You'll soon get used to doing nothing, you'll see. It suits us anyway. We have more time for each other. Cass. They look a little bit like rice flats. All those individual plateaus. Those also kind of look like bags of rice. Ah, they're taunting me with another one of the music things. Pretty much just saying, come find your way around. That's a beautiful sight, but those are all smooth walls. Not for a moment do you think you can go that way. Am I not supposed to think I can go this way? I guess not. Yeah, okay, they don't want us to go that way. It's not that clear. I'll be fine. Okay. I wonder if we're ever going to go from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2 where things start collapsing. Alrighty. Can I get up there? Ooh. What? Very messy game. Okay. There's some kind of direction over there, but I don't know how to get there from down there, so maybe you loop back around to get there? Yeah. Not sure what good it'll do to reach that. The windmill has rungs, but there's also all these bugs by that plant that could take you somewhere. Alright. Oh, camera. Oh, God. This is only moderately terrifying. Alright, well the whole thing didn't collapse. Well, that's not supposed to happen. I don't think. Can I grab that? Okay, so I think it's safe to say I'm not supposed to be here. Let's just reset the rope because it's freaking out. It's freaking out, man. Okay. I got a little too silly, everybody. I'm sorry. Ooh, big rope. I think they lose their color when you're on them. I feel like I need to worry that they're gonna. Oh, this one just stopped. They definitely get slower while you're on them, but I thought they were losing color, and I started to worry that maybe they will just like drop off the wall. All things considered, this game's pretty low on risk. It might be a game where you sincerely can just like you just like start over particular moments, but I don't think your character can like fall to their death. It seems like to be like an explicit tone choice. All right, stamina regenerated. Whoop. Not what I meant to do. Oh, camera. Am I going down? Well, maybe that is my goal. They did put a spike on that wall, like it was supposed to be in the way. Because it wasn't letting me climb up. I couldn't tell where I was supposed to go for a minute there. Oh no, I was here 100 years ago. Fuck. I saw a thing too. I guess it's something I never found. Well, might as well get that, I guess. So I guess that's something down here. Yeah. Woo. Hoo-ha. God, I sent myself so far back. Oh, this sucks. I just couldn't tell where to go in that moment when I got to that one checkpoint. There we go. Alright, well, if I'm all the way down here, I might as well check again to see if there was another way around up here. That should be the room we saw. Maybe if you go far enough down these, you can get there? Well, I'm not seeing a cave anywhere, I'll tell you that. Oh god. This child, they're supernaturally springy. I'm just having a really rough time with this room, apparently. Just not getting a super clean read on what my goal is most of the time. Like, why is there a checkpoint over there? This is both cool and kind of terrifying. Oh god. That one was going in a whole different direction. Oh, how quickly I became concerned. Alright. Do they want me to go to this windmill again? Like, why would they want me to? Can't turn my camera around at all? Yeah, they're forcing me to look this way, so I guess they want me to go to the windmill. I might go as far as to say that this level's a little jank. I literally already had access to this windmill ages ago without doing that whole trip. It's the idea that it was my destination all along is kind of weird. But I guess when I did that all the way back then, I could have made it forward if I just figured out how to go under there. Alright, well, we made it. No. A little upsettingly hand-like. Listen to your heart. and follow your instincts. That's all I can tell you. Go, if you must. I won't be going with you. My roots are here. I'm an old man. All I want is to stay on my land, at peace with the world around me. Farewell. I wish you all the best. I'll go to the old tree for as long as I can, and I'll cherish your memory as my most prized possession. I'll be sad, but knowing you're out there somewhere will comfort me. A tiny plant growing in the desert. Oh, Grandpa. I'm gonna be sad too. I already am. Mama says we'll come back when the sun wills it, but I don't believe it. The sun doesn't will it, because if it did, we wouldn't be stuffing everything in the house into flour sacks. I heard the water in the desert streams. I heard the water in the desert steams and is stinky. That's what Tommy says. She's already been there and wants to make sure there was room for her animals, and she's going back with us. Unky says if you change your mind, you know where to find us. He doesn't want to write you. He says you made Mama mad, and that I shouldn't be writing this. I love you, and I don't want to go, but I'm going. So bye, Grandpa. Ease. No. Sounds like Mom's upset that Grandpa's not coming. Upset about the reality of having to leave somebody behind. And maybe they're just being stubborn, or maybe they really weren't going to make the trip well. Hard travel. Ooh. Big travel can be a lot to put on old folks. I'm trying to tell which direction's the secret and which way's the way forward. Okay. Okay, calm down. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I can get back up there. I might have just made a mistake. I thought this was a secret, but maybe we're supposed to go here? Uh-oh. Maybe. Ah, this is the bottom. Okay. Now it all makes more sense. Yeah. I live in fear of my past mistakes. Okay. This is very satisfying whenever it happens. I do like riding the vine. Although you never know where you're going. Nope. Trying to behave in any way that resembles platforming in this game is extremely funny. One little rock. The achievement you get for doing that says complete a cairn. And I'm like, that seems a little presumptive to say that you completed it. This pile of rocks, I put the final one on. No one will ever put another one on. And that was exactly the number of it. Every cairn I find is exactly one rock from being completed forever. And that's me, baby. Hail to the king. Oh, that's wild. slightly terrifying. They seem to look like crabs underneath. Nothing else around. Nope, not close enough. Help. This is in the shadow, so I should be safe. I've got to reach that thing or I'm going to be kind of stuck. Oh. Relax. Just chill. Ah. Just give them a little vacay. Bar is back. We're already this high. What could go wrong? Several things. Several things can go wrong. Especially if I'm extremely reckless. Who would act like that? Oop. No, go up, not down. Up, not down. Up, not down. Said up, not down. Yep. I really don't use the mechanic that often where you get additional anchor points. Oh, I'm about to be in trouble. Careful. But I may want to now. Okay. There we go. And now we chill again. This is kind of exciting. This is the most that the game's been like a video game. You really are managing your stamina and trying to get through this like pretty dangerous spot. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. I'm actually using my budget of little anchor points just in case I run out of energy. Well, that's in part because I'm playing so recklessly that I'm like, let's go. Interesting. Ah, I'm learning something. There's a distinction where I believe climbing does not reduce my maximum stamina. It just reduces my current stamina. It's jumping that reduces my maximum stamina. It's the big exertion moments that damage your stamina bar, essentially. So I am extremely doing that to myself, based on whatever level of going too fast I want to do. Logbook 12. 12 octaves and 2/3 after the Jusant. Warning. This journal entry will definitely be too long, but I have so much to say. I got to see Emmy again. I'm so glad I got to drop anchor at her hut. We made it up for lost time in the blink of an eye. I almost capsized when I heard her laugh again. I'd missed that so much. She started by grumbling about something before shrugging and changing the subject, just like old times. I found myself chattering endlessly and the words flooded out of me. I told her everything, from my parents getting ready to pack up and go to our theories about our water in the clouds. Everything got so jumbled up. I could tell her my chatter made no sense, but She nodded as though she'd never heard anything more profound. Their theory of water in the clouds, it's like they just are not, they really don't know what rain is, basically. It was about then that I realized the whole team was gawking at us from with round fish eyes. Oops. How long had I been standing there talking to Emmy right in front of them? I hadn't even set my pack down yet. It was so awkward. Emmy gave a frown and barked orders at the assembled group. There was hard tack to prepare for everyone at the hut, and mattresses to air out. Plus the salt the wind had blown into the corners. Everyone sprang up and got to work without another word. Emmy's one tough cookie, that's for sure. Plus she was armed with a wooden spoon that she was brandishing wildly. A pot was soon set to heat in the sun while Sol swept the floor and Arlo scraped the plates. Emmy gave me a wink and I laughed harder than I had in ages. Later on, with our stomachs full and feet bandaged, Emmy told us the stories she heard from travelers who stopped by her hut. One of them grabbed my attention. The legend of the piper. A musician of old. He was said to travel from region to region with his flute to make it rain. I'd never heard tell of it back home, but Arlo and Becca had. Where they're from, they said we'd celebrate the rain's arrival rather than making it rain. When comes the water, dances the piper. I'm writing to keep my hands occupied, but I can't settle down. As though staying busy will staying busy will delay our departure. I've already rewound all my rope and checked on my pack. I brought way too many things aboard. And in this heat. Besides, maybe I don't need all these 3 teapots of my favorite flower pots after all. I couldn't just leave them behind, but I know I can't go on like this. I'm trusting them to you, Emmy. I hope they bring you as much comfort as they brought me. I hope to see you again one day. I'm your crewmate, always. Bianca. Says where's the tea set? Put that over there? I think it's that. Maybe? So Emmy was running this place but not on the expedition. Sort of like as a waypoint. A way base, something. Blah blah blah. Woo! This mountain just stretcheth on forever. Okay. I'll be fine. I'm fine. Water? Yeah. I think this is a water mine. They're big jugs on mine carts. That's wild to see. But then the spring died, right? Yeah, yeah, all these bins. I mean, other fluids potentially, but it says water to me. Boom. We know each other. Our parents know each other. I see your suffering. We're doing our best to divide the little water we have left here between us. The largest farms have been given priority. They use the most water since they feed the most people. I agree with what you say about needing to change the way we do things. We can't go on like this. It's not sustainable for you. You don't stand a chance compared to the big guys. We should convince them to share, pool our resources. Do you think that's possible? I'm not sending you water, but I am sending you courage. Joe. Well, that's not the answer they wanted, I'm sure. Additional hatches underneath the buildings. Alright, so we do now know this is a place for water. This wood. Probably grown locally. Are these all mushrooms? I think they are. I haven't even bothered planning anything. What's the use? It breaks my heart to see the crops dying on the vine one by one and being powerless to stop it. I've fought the sun long enough. I'd rather quit now than break my back for nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do. Leave the farm, probably. Finally pay you a visit, maybe? Is the little one already climbing? To think that I haven't met her yet. Maybe throwing in the towel isn't such a bad idea after all. Oh no. I'm sorry. What an awful situation you're in. But yes, come for a visit. We'll gladly make room. The little one just started preschool. Can you believe it? She's growing so fast. She's incredible. You'll see, with each passing sleep, she learns something new. When I'm with her, I feel like I'm rediscovering the world around me. She gives me hope again. I should warn you, though, she can be a handful. Yeah, these are mushroom crops. That's really cool to see. All these different shelves where mushrooms are meant to grow. That's why there's also just mushrooms around everywhere as they spread. The idea is probably that they're like damp-ish, or as much as you can. Dark spots along the walls. They might be spreading something to help them grow. I'm in danger. Don't get stuck. Oh, don't get stuck on the bars. We're fine. There we go. See, we're fine. Why are there pigs up here? You guys are way too comfy getting that close to that ledge. Oof. I just saw a rock fall. I'm not sure if I trust that spot. That definitely seems like where he's supposed to go. What can I accomplish here? What could go wrong? Okay, there's a route to get back up. I see it. I see what's going on here. Oh yeah, here's a mural. Of something? Mushroom plants? Part of that looks like bone and part of it looks like plants. Mushroomy things. I think the bottom right thing is just a crashed ship in the distance. There's mushrooms here too. I found another mural. Whoop. Relax, relax. There we go. Here we are. Definitely one of the things that is lowest stakes about the platforming is the fact that you can just basically rest whenever you feel like it and get your stamina meter back. And the stamina meter does not decrease in maximum length unless you're jumping. So if you're as long as you're only jumping in the places where you're actually required to, it's basically impossible to actually get stuck or even fail at a climb because of the resting mechanic. Hey, Ans. Have you seen the latest posters? The ones they say to eat more salt to quench your thirst. Together, let's save water. Salt your food. Water saved today is water drunk tomorrow. Made me think of you. They're taking it too far. We're supposed to drink less, while they use up all the water in the Great Basin to water those sun-scorched fields of theirs. Yeah, I saw. Every little bit counts. Honestly, they have got no shame? It's always the same with them. But it's sure working out well for the store. I've never seen so many customers, even though most of the villages are already abandoned. I'm running low on pickleweed, hearth salt, and rock salt. I'm even out of plain flakes. Though they're pretty bland and not what I'd recommend. At this rate, I'm gonna have to start selling my personal stash. Water saving dynamics built into your diet. Okay, so what are you doing up here? I guess they must have hauled it all the way up here on a pulley system to repair it or something? I don't know. At this point, I cannot but think we're finding boats really high up. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's attached to a thing. Maybe they hauled the boat all the way up here to repair it? I feel like that's gotta be a bit too much work, right? I feel like we shouldn't be seeing boats anymore. Or maybe this place is so old that this thing's been here since the water level was this high. And they kept having to build docks lower and lower as it dropped. Because, like, there was livable spaces down there. Like, the old man lived down there. And he's old, so he didn't just get there. Those are a ton of mushroom farms. Encouraging me to go inside, but where? There's a climbing spot here, and I can climb on these, but I don't see myself getting any higher. Oh, over there. I see it now. I was having trouble finding where the spot was. It kind of feels like the game probably had a mandatory climbing mode where you activated climbing by attaching to those points. And then they decided that that was too much of a pain in the ass, but the game was built around them already. So then they made it so that you automatically deploy to the thing whenever you grab something nearby. That feels like that's how the game works. Because they're very conspicuous. Like, they seem very strange to me whenever I see them just hanging out at the bottom. Hanging out down the street. As long as they're not in the sun, they last. Oh god. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. These guys make me sad. They get tired. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to ruin your day. I just need to get up this wall. It's hard. No. Oh god. I had made a grave mistake. Okay, running out of stamina. It's not ideal. We're trying to get over there. Please keep going, little guy. Ugh. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ruin your day. Make it, make it. Okay. Latching, and we're good. We're good, everything's fine. Here we go. I just feel bad whenever they stop moving. I'm like, no. I tired out the little wall crab. I could be putting it in danger. It might fall. Well, we're leaving the tower. The village has been given a date. I can't quite believe it. I still think about our dance. The last festival already seems so long ago. It was so nice to forget about all this for a sleep. I didn't realize it at the time, but I think at some point I'd given up. But then, your laughter, the dizziness after the long waltz, the way you stepped on my feet, the way your cheeks glowed pink. I don't know how to ask you this, but you want to come with me? Journey through life on the same pebble? I'm sorry. I know it's short notice. But now I care enough to be afraid. Afraid of what I could miss out on if I don't send you this message. I hope you get it. Keely. There's no response, which so far implies it was never received. Ugh. They probably already left or something. No. Okay, that's really long, so it's probably the normal way forward. So this is probably a secret. We are so high up now. At some point, you're just in a stasis of being in a constant state of high with no particular changes in your field of reference anymore. It looks like a xenomorph at a distance. Oh, it's someone pushing a huge bug. Is that a boulder? It's two people pushing one. It's huge. Why is it so big? It won't let me attach to anything. I don't think it wants me to go down there. I was going to inspect whether or not it's a shortcut back. Although I don't have a shortcut to take. I'm already good. I guess I was just going to check to see if it's just anything new. I guess I can just walk down here. I was just thinking back to the beginning of the game. Oh, I was probably behind that. I was thinking back to the beginning of the game and I was like, wait, oh, did I never go back to that place that I said I was going to go to after I checked out the tower? But no, that's where the story went next, I think. So I'm just bumming myself out about nothing. Logbook 12. Octaves and 3/4 after Jusant. We make quite an odd team. Eccentrics, hardliners, optimists, turn of the tides. I've never seen such different kinds of people working together towards a common goal. Well, sort of. I'm not so sure I'm on the same page as the others anymore. I've realized that the people around me have nets and harpoons, knives. They want to capture ballasts. I was sure we'd set off on this adventure to prove they were real, that we were going to study them, figure out how they were linked to the rain's disappearance, solve the mystery of the pier, of the Piper. Now I hope those creatures only exist in stories. Because this expedition is starting to look like a hunting party. I feel so stupid for not seeing it before. I thought I was doing the optional direction, but now there's a story beat, so I'm not sure anymore. No? So they kept animals here. That's what it sounds like. Am I learning here that's what those big beetles sounded like? Because it sounds like a bunch of legs. The huge beetles. I would maybe be a little upsetty about those. Let's see. Yeah, I was just here. Just didn't go down that particular way. But yeah, I kind of thought that all those journal entries were on the critical path, so I'm not so sure anymore where I am. In those terms. This looks kind of like a dead end. You know what? Raising pebbles was fun till I started doing it for a living. I think I've lost my way. You know me, I wasn't really thinking ahead when I took over the old farm. Could have just abandoned the pebbles my parents cared for all their lives. Sure, I never dreamed of delivering the mail, but I kept the animals fed and my debts paid. I kept my noggin above water, like they say around your parts. But since the villages have been uprooted, it's been so hard. Too few people on the cliffs and too much distance to cover. I'm wearing myself and my animals out, and I'm getting nothing but crumbs. I can't go on like this. I remember when we first met. It seems so long ago now. I'd run away from the farm. Remember how mad my dad was? That was quite something. I just couldn't deal with the sun anymore. Now look where I ended up. I miss our belly laughs. I even miss the tunnels. Tommy, thanks for your letter. Things aren't any better here. I've made zero progress on my mending. I've spent ages working on this hideous piece of embroidery because I'd rather watch rocks erode. Were you able to sort through your parents' stuff like you wanted? Poor things never got to enjoy them. All they did was work. Is that what'll happen to us too? We could both decide to opt out. The world would keep on turning. Well, keep on not turning. You get the idea. Take care. I think this is a dead end now. The world would keep on not turning. Is that the implication? That the planet stopped spinning? That's kind of wild. I guess maybe that would obliterate the sea. Or something. This place was huge for what I thought was optional, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Shit, how do I even get back out? Or where did I think I was going before? Have I lost track completely? Oh, there's a cairn here. I may be a little lost. Is this all climbable? Maybe it is. Maybe not. Oh, shit, over here. Oh, this is the spot. This shimmy was where I was when I thought I was doing the side area. Let's go check out the other area then, which at this rate might dead end because it might be the side area. Maybe I was always wrong. This is the scary shit, is whenever you hang, you're like, no, oh my god, no. Ah. What do you mean you're just gonna hang upside down? Not upside down, but you are hanging. Am I supposed to make that jump? Okay. Oh, right. Swing for it. Ooh. Ooh. Oop, no, whoa, god, use a ladder like normal, what are you doing? Oh god. That's the big climb I did earlier? Oh. A zipline back across. Is that a new climb? I think that is a new climb. Okay, so I think this was ultimately the way forward. I was doubting myself for a while. I don't get what the deal is with the parents in the ocean. It's all they talk about. We have to explore the Great Plain. Go further across the oceanic ridges. Find the ocean. Blah, blah, blah. Fine. Set sail for the desert if you want, but why should I have to come along too? You're getting on my nerves. Honestly, I'm kind of scared. I bet I'll get dizzy. Walking? Horizontally? Nope. No thanks. Not for me. So that's it, Nil? You're leaving? I wouldn't mind going off on an expedition instead of marinating in this old place. It's so boring here. You have no idea. I can't take it anymore. If I have to roast, at least let me roast in the desert, where things are happening. Plus, what if you found a spring? You'd be famous. It's like the gold rush, basically, going west, trying to find gold. The frequency with which people talk about the idea of walking like it's strange is wild. I think there was a previous generation that was so used to being on the ocean that they don't have steady legs on land. I think was what they hinted at one point. And then Soul and people like them, like they're so used to, they've been climbing their whole lives, they're just used to being climbers all the time. So they do that so much, moving with all their hands and knees at once, that their basic walking looks strange now. There you go. What did we accomplish here? Where have we even gone? I'm not sure what we just did. Oh. Ah! Oh. Sorry, I'm bad at video games. Okay, I'm not sure where that one goes. That's interesting. Another zipline there. Feels like that one's our goal, but there's just gonna be more lore around. And then it ultimately sends me back here to go there. I'm not sure. Let's check out this ghost town. I was here. We can climb up through all that very easily. There's your way back. The others sleep. Rosa asked me to tell him a bedtime story. He's getting to be a big boy now, but I love it when I can still pretend he's little. I decided to tell him the tale of the long rain. I told him about the overflowing canals, high tide, the locks, and so on. But eventually he stopped me because he didn't understand. He didn't know what rain was. I'm starting to doubt myself. We both agree it's not just some tale our elders made up. It did exist, right? Hey! I think it did, yeah. But to be honest, I see where your kid's coming from. Water falling from the sky does sound pretty odd. I wouldn't be surprised if the old folks had made it all up. They're having a good laugh at all of us up there. So there you have it. Rain just definitely stopped at some point. The line about water falling from the sky being vague is the thing I don't totally get a read on. Because that threw me off because it made me think that she was used to rain. Like the line definitely seemed to suggest that rain wasn't around, but at the same time her saying water falling from the sky, that's vague. Like, makes it sound like she knows what rain is. That one really threw me. Now we know, more or less. Woo! I'm not sure why somebody would take a route that looks that complicated if this is just here. Let's see. Okay, careful. Alright, so it does not take us all the way up. So there's our answer. But there was a hook-on spot all the way down there, which definitely, I wasn't sure what to think about that. Yeah. We're safe. Okay, there we go. Whew. That other path where you don't use the crack looks way worse. Not totes sure why one would. Why can't I move? There we go. Nope. Alright. Doing a hop. Well, that's striking. Is this how I learned what the octave is? I mean, I don't know what I'm going to learn about it, but is this what the octave is? Oh, it's the horn. It's been a while. Oh. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna look around. I think it was the first time the game's ever changed my location during a cutscene. When I blew the other horn, I was still there. Convergence. Wow. So our guy is used to his little friend, but he's not used to those guys, the bugs. Well, looks like we can say goodbye to the sun mechanic for now. Now things look a lot more cold and mossy. Okay, so it definitely seems like the higher we get, the more we're going further into the past. Like a opposite of how you'd expect archaeology to usually work. But the water level just kept dropping, so they kept having to move their society even further down. The big hint was definitely the fact that we saw the boat that high. And it's like, you would never haul this boat this high. This is awful. And so when that original lady... Oop, When we read that original message, she had no idea what the, scared of that. She didn't know what rain was, I guess. But at this point, they at least talk about it. Service memo. The old canal is finally clean, and locks 4 to 7 have been serviced. In all my time as water surveyor, I have never seen the water level this low. But at least it was able to give you your canal a good clean. Let's just say it was about time. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I've never been this filthy in my entire life. Off the clock for this sleep. Till next time. Ida. This was a canal. That's how much water was here originally. It was whoopsole water. Yep, 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 yep. That's one of the rims that's usually on the fan? What makes it glow forever like that, I wonder? It's still glowing. It's broken, it's abandoned. I guess a lot of stuff glows. I guess maybe it's made, maybe they've all been made of whatever that is. Some kind of mushroomy thing. This place is looking different. Kind of has that portal color split. Not seeing anything here. What's interesting to me is that so much of this, like, we've heard the kids, like, slang and how they talk about things. They use boat terms for basically everything. Which is call the sparks? Be carried by the sparks. Oh. They carry you upwards in big jump. But it's like part of this thing where like we constantly have language where we don't even know the origins of it. As can be seen to some extent by how often you might be told that a thing you said is racist because you're like, oh shit. I literally didn't even know what that phrase technically meant or what its origin was. And like this society, their young people have never seen rain and they don't have an ocean. And they use boat terms and wave and ripple terms to describe tons of things. Because they're from a society that was so ocean-based. Wow, this is a striking difference in visuals. This is neat. Let's take a look around. Bye-bye. That thing's freaking out a little bit now. Kisu? I think climbing up there is the way to go, so I need to check everywhere else now. Not getting inside. They do basically feel like these little, like, museum pieces. Logbook 12. Octaves. 2 6 and 8 primes after the Jusant. To the peaks I go, come what may. From chasm to salt marsh I make my way. To the peaks I go, come what may. To find my true love again one day. To find my true love again one day. Up in the clouds I went astray. From ravine to frozen pass of grey. The clouds watch me as I make my way. Will I find my true love again one day? Will I find my true love again one day? Sol was singing that to himself as we gathered lichen for hot drinks. I asked him to repeat it for me later. When he was young, Sol would hear the old women singing that song. Let's just say he's not as young as he used to be. The clouds watch me as I make my way. To him, it's a confirmation. The song is a map. Following the words will lead us to the Ballast. Met didn't say a word. She can usually outshatter the Weavebeak. We returned empty-handed, but it felt good to be climbing as a trio again. Like when we first set out on our climb. Everything was so much simpler back then. Later, Met told me she's tired of this expedition. She's sick of all the water and the cloud stuff. She doesn't believe in it anymore. Or not enough. She doesn't know what to do. Return to low tide? Is there even anyone left there anymore? She dares to ask the questions I merely write down. If ballast were real, why would they stay in the clouds? Could they be stuck here because the cycle stopped? Or is their presence stopping the world from waking up? And what am I doing on this hunting expedition? I miss my lighthouse. And Highfield's old sundial. And someone's thoughts too? Is Highfield's old sundial in someone's thoughts too? One place for the ocean, another for the sun. Are there others? No one seems to be paying these old shipwrecks from another era much notice. We've gotten used to them by now. If we've forgotten that, what else have we forgotten? It worries me to see Met withdraw into her shell more and more with each sleep. But she's still climbing. Come what may. There's an intimidating number of options around here. Whoa. Huh. Oh, it's the negative space. There's two things. It's a ballast and a woman, right? I was so distracted by the mushroomy looking thing in the middle. But it's about what's not there. This place seems sincerely huge. Gonna have to be a bit a bit thorough if I want to find everything here. Yep, this is also progress in the big room, so I don't really want to go here yet, I don't think. I definitely just constantly mix up left and right bumper as far as which one's going to go up or down. Okay. At first glance I thought this was the way forward, but it's collapsed. But I'm still relatively convinced I'd see some stuff around this town if I looked. So that's why I didn't want to leave yet. Oh, wow. I can't really speak accurately about how weather would behave if the planet stopped spinning. Probably not great. But there might be a chunk of the planet where it's almost night, where it's always nighttime and it's always storming. And maybe there's some boundary somewhere where humans can live more reasonably. I don't know. Things aren't sounding great. It does feel like if the oceans are gone here, they're probably gone everywhere. Because it's the oceans. They're contiguous. So how the heck is that supposed to work? We didn't try here yet. Oh god. I'm fine. I don't think that opens. Good. Ah, you can double jump in a different direction than the first direction you went in. That's wild. Hey mama, Sajri asked me to clear out the cellar so they could store their furniture there. I came across some old clothes that must have belonged to Grandpa. They don't look like anything that we wear here, anyway. I had to throw them all out. Some sores had made their nest in them and chewed them all up. I wonder what it was like up here. A storm? Did you ever go back? You said it drove Grandpa completely crazy, but I never got a chance to talk to him about it. No, he never talked much about anything. The old man wasn't the chattiest of folks. The wind picked up. I don't remember how old I was. I could barely stand on my own 2 feet. That was a long time ago. When a storm like that came along, I wasn't allowed to go outside. I wasn't allowed to do much, come to think of it. Those were different times, eh? Then everything stopped. That part you know. But up there? Oh. The raging storm stuck. The wind howled and howled. It was enough to drive you mad. We couldn't live up there anymore, you see, so we came down here. And now there's talk of climbing down again. Will it ever end? So there was a horrible storm when the world stopped moving. Not sure I can manage that one. Nope. Out. This might be the way forward. Or just a different way to get a little higher in this room. Oh, I didn't see this here. Oh, I haven't been here. Or have I? Yeah, I was here. Oh, wow, I didn't notice that or this. Whoops. Well, now I'm back up here. So they kind of condense into one path overall. Isa, thank you for your support. Thanks to you, we can continue to work to protect the 3 Humpsorians. Without your help, we would never have been able to renovate our shelter. I'm also happy to announce that the time has come. We've begun releasing some of our rescued saurians back into the wild. This time, we're working with the sparkle shroom growers to preserve shaded areas vital to saurians. I'm confident that reintroducing them back to their natural habitat will be a success. I'm still unclear how we're going to help the remaining ones adapt to life in the Great Plain. But now the first phase is complete. At least the species' survival is assured. Thank you again, Anne. Doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere. Look at these guys. Is it the Saurian? I made their weird little octo-rock mouth pustule. Or... I made it... It throbbing. Probably meant to land here. There we go. All the glowing mushrooms everywhere are really beautiful. I'd just be a little worried about whether or not you're in danger from it. Some of the stuff admittedly does also remind me of the stuff from Stray. It's interesting that those specific spots respond so strongly to my thing. In part because it kind of looks like it's implying that they have water. One of the wild things about all this is the fact that we are not drinking anything. We do have a water creature with us. Maybe they opted not to have the protagonist give him a little kiss periodically to sustain himself. I don't know. We got the hint of something up in the sky. So it feels like we're hinting at the idea that we will return our little guy to their family, to their kind up there. Oh, the camera's guiding me over here. Yep. There we go. Is that a shortcut back down? I think it is. I know it's a little piece of variety to throw in the game, but like, who is withdrawing all these bridges? Were they attacked? That feels like it wasn't really part of the story. So why are all these drawbridges up? I don't think they seem to not serve a purpose being in that position. There's a few of them around here. Yeah, I mentioned that we're trying to get to the top to give the little water baby back to the water gods up there, and I don't know, maybe it'll rain, or maybe it's just like, humanity's era is over, but as one final kindness, I will take this guy back to his family. And at least that happened. Anyway, and then he dies. Logbook 13 octaves and... Logbook, 13 octaves and 1/3 after the Jusant. I keep saying it in a weird cadence at the beginning because I keep thinking of it in terms of like stardate blah 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 blah. Like you say the thing and then you expect to say a number immediately, but it's logbook. 13 octaves and 1/3 after the Jusant. We docked for a while at the home of an old local farmer, Gal. To him, always having a wall within reach of a roof over your head is comforting. A feeling of safety you don't get in the open air. He made me laugh. The sky? No thank you. Saw it once and it made me dizzy. Gal seems to be all alone in the world, but he can't bring himself to leave the tower. We don't have to ask twice for him to tell us about the water. He mainly remembers the sound it made when he was just a tadpole. As he put it. And when he was just a tadpole, as he put it. And the silence that followed the drought. He spoke of full canals and waterfalls, of mud and pruny skin. And I wasn't the only one listening. In the light of the glowing mushrooms, people's faces were exhausted, but their eyes were bright. The entire group hung onto this every word. Who will listen to his stories once we're gone? We ended up staying at the farm, delaying our departure for a little longer. There was no shortage of excuses. Gal's farm needed extra hands. There was a building frame to repair, spare parts to track down, ropes to replace. It felt good to be working on something concrete, rather than wearing myself out on an interminable climb chasing after legends. Probably the same feeling that keeps me carving my little sculptures. When it was time to leave, Met stayed behind. There was no need to explain. The group understood. All of us were secretly hoping to stay at Gal's farm. Well, I was. But I guess I'm still holding out a glimmer of hope for this expedition. Saying goodbye to Met was probably the hardest thing I've had to do since I started this climb. I don't know if I feel like riding anymore. Or have the energy to. Goodbye. Maybe. Bianca. They started the whole journey together and then they didn't come. What sculptures, I wonder? Is that the sculpture? That little wooden thing? I don't think this is a first-person view. It's hard to see those kinds of details, but maybe there has been a little sculpture by each one. What is this thingy? Oh, it's a bowling... What? It looks like it's a little bowling... Yeah. It's a bowling alley thingy. But like a tiny one. Like a bowling table? I've never seen one before, but that's definitely bowling. Like, I wonder if this is where it's gonna connect to like... modern world stuff? Like that's a cultural connection, unlike anything I've seen before. Those books. Jen, you still around? How are things out there? Still no rain? I hosted a group from your part of the tower here. Off chasing clouds or whatever's in them. We had a great time. And I got a new housemate out of it too. A youngster who reminds me of you. It'll be nice having two of us run what's left of the farm. Hey, old man. Great to hear from you. I'm glad to know you're in company. Cass and I were actually just talking about the odd jobs I used to do. It's been a while since the harvest, hasn't it? When I think back to it now, it seems crazy how many people would just help you pick the sparkle shrooms. Well, mostly because of the pies you'd make from them for snack time. You know, you never did give me the recipe? That's their trick for getting labor. Can't spill the secret. You gotta keep using it. So it's a fungus farmer. Just always living within reach of arms, within reach of walls and so on. Taking comfort in that distance. Careful. There we go. What could go wrong? Okay. Oh, hi. I'm in danger. Why? Oh my goodness. A bit of a risky move. Listen, I live to progress. Like a cancer. Alright. Help! Get back out there. I need you guys' help when you all retracted. You know how much harder this whole trip is because of that? Yep. Whoop! Ooh. Hmm. Kid, you are so lucky these things always have regular haunts. Am I not going there? I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not going out that crack. Whoops. That seemed like the goal. The lack of freedom is strange sometimes. Oh, we gotta go that way now. Shit. Listen. Oh god. Relax. Okay. I know they're probably just like, oh man, it looks so cool if the level looks like this, but the main takeaway is it's just distracting as shit. The big glowing crack, like, well, just go out it. Just go out the crack. What's on the other side? I can just go. Me going around it is relatively undermotivated. There's a whole bit. There's a whole city in there. The other side of this cavern is huge. Yeah, they definitely mean it as like a preview window. Open up. Let me inside. Is this forward or backwards? Oop. A mural. Oh, and there's the city. It's like an hourglass on spores, sun, almost like water coming down. It kind of looks like a filtration system or a vertical ecosystem. Oh, there's a big bug down there. Oh, and that is where we're going. Okay. With how many ledges there are around, I can definitely see them making the creative choice to make it so that you can't fall off cliffs. So that you don't just randomly have this like very startling and kind of upsetting moment of plummeting to your doom on a regular basis. It's easy enough to do, it seems.